All praises to the Creator, our Abba, HAYA, whose judgment is ever righteous and whose mercies are immeasurable. My soul is weary for my people. I think of the 400 years we've been disconnected from our identity and the truth of who we are, and our Father turns his face back toward us, and we get caught up again in procreating our own glory as opposed to his glory. I do this recording because I know that where we are now, it is time for the wailing women to appear and seek the Most High's mercy as we come to the end of this time. But I will be doing some scriptures to show why we need those wailing women. It breaks my heart to see my people killing each other with the word of our Abba. And one of the scriptures that covers that best is Isaiah 58. And we hear Isaiah 58 all the time, but we always hear just the first verse from the guys in the camps. Well, let's look into this chapter and see what he's talking about. Isaiah chapter 58. Cry aloud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins. Yet they seek me daily, and delight to know my ways, as a nation that did righteousness, and forsook not the ordinance of their God. They ask of me the ordinances of justice. They take delight in approaching to God. Wherefore have we fasted, say they, and thou seest not? Wherefore have we afflicted our soul, and thou takest no knowledge? Behold, in the day of your fast ye find pleasure, and exact all your labors. Behold, ye fast for strife and debate, and to smite with the fist of wickedness. Ye shall not fast as ye do this day, to make your voice to be heard on high. Is it such a fast that I have chosen, a day for a man to afflict his soul? Is it to bow down his head as a bulrush, and to spread sackcloth and ashes under him? Wilt thou call this a fast, and an acceptable day to the Lord? Is not this the fast that I have chosen? To loose the bands of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens, and to let the oppressed go free, and that ye break every yoke? Is it not to deal thy bread to the hungry, and that thou bring the poor that are cast out to thy house? When thou seest the naked, that thou cover him, and that thou hide not thyself from thine own flesh? Then shall thy light break forth as the morning, and thine health shall spring forth speedily, and thy righteousness shall go before thee. The glory of the Most High shall be thy reward. Then shalt thou call, and HAYA shall answer. Thou shalt cry, and he shall say, Here I am. If thou take away from the midst of thee the yoke, the putting forth of the finger, and speaking vanity, and if thou draw out thy soul to the hungry, and satisfy the afflicted soul, then shall thy light rise in obscurity, and thy darkness be as the noonday. And the Lord HAYA shall guide thee continually, and satisfy thy soul in drought, and make fat thy bones. And thou shalt be like a watered garden, and like a spring of water, whose waters fail not. And they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste places. Thou shalt rise up the foundation of many generations, and thou shalt be called the repairer of the breach, the restorer of paths to dwell in. If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord honorable, and shalt honor him, not doing thine own ways, nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own words. Then shalt thou delight thyself in the Lord, and I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth, and feed thee with the heritage of Jacob thy father, for the mouth of HAYA had spoken it. Amen. When I read that, I think of, there's a term in the field of psychology called projection. And the basic definition is that the faults that one has within oneself, they project it upon other people so as to not carry the burden of their own fault. And when I think of us, all of us in our iniquity, the Most High says all of our righteousness is like filthy rags. Yet we project our iniquity onto our brother and slay him with the word of the Father, as opposed to showing mercy that is shown to us every day. If the Most High did not have the mercy that he had, and it was based on the mercy that we show each other, we would be in dire straits. And to this day, we are still in dire straits. And to be honest, it confuses me for learned men who've read these books, who probably know more of the writings than I know, and know what's coming, are behaving this way. And just so we remember what is coming, I'm going to go to the Apocrypha, 2nd Ezra, chapter 7. And I'm going to start at verse 41. Even so now, seeing corruption is grown up, and wickedness increased, and the righteous have prayed for the ungodly, wherefore shall it not be so now also? He answered me and said, This present life is not the end, where much glory doth abide. Therefore have they prayed for the weak. But the day of doom shall be the end of this time, and the beginning of immortality for what to come, wherein corruption is past, intemperance is at an end, infidelity is cut off, righteousness is grown, and truth is sprung up. Then shall no man be able to save him that is destroyed, nor to oppress him that hath gotten the victory. I answered then and said, This is my first and last saying, that it had been better not to have given the earth unto Adam, or else, when it was given him, to have restrained him from sinning. For what profit is it for men now in this present time to live in heaviness, and after death to look for punishment? O thou Adam, what hast thou done? For though it was thou that sinned, Salaki, thou art not fallen alone, but we all that come of thee. For what profit is it unto us, if there be promised us an immortal time, whereas we have done the works that bring death? And that there is promised us an everlasting hope, whereas ourselves, being most wicked, are made vain. And that there are laid up for us dwellings of health and safety, whereas we have lived wickedly. And that the glory of the Most High is kept to defend them which have led a weary life, whereas we have walked in all the most wicked ways of all. And that there should be showed a paradise, whose fruit endureth forever, wherein is security and medicine, since we shall not enter into it. For we have walked in unpleasant places, and that the faces of them which have used abstinence shall shine above the stars, whereas our faces shall be blacker than darkness. For while we lived and committed iniquity, we considered not that we should begin to suffer for it after death. Then answered he me and said, This is the condition of the battle. which man that is born upon the earth shall fight, that if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said. But if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say. For this is the life whereof Moses spake unto the people while he lived, saying, Choose thee life, that thou mayest live. Nevertheless they believed not him, nor yet the prophets after him, no, nor me, which have spoken unto them, that there should not be such heaviness in their destruction, as shall be joy over them that are persuaded to salvation. I answered then and said, I know, Lord, that the Most High is called merciful, and that he hath mercy upon them which are not yet to come into the world, this is us, and upon those also that turn to his law, and that he is patient and long-suffereth those that have sinned, as his creatures, and that he is bountiful, for he is ready to give where it needeth, and that he is of great mercy, for he multiplieth more and more mercies to them that are present, and that are past, and also to them which are to come. This is us. For if he shall not multiply his mercies, the world would not continue with them that inherit therein. And he pardoneth, for if he did not so of his goodness, that they which have committed iniquities might be eased of them, the 10,000th part of men should not remain living. And being judge, if he should not forgive them that are cured with his word, and put out the multitude of contentions, there should be very few left peradventure in an innumerable multitude. Contentions. Yisr is full of contentions. We seek glory in this kingdom. In this kingdom, we seek to glorify ourselves, to create a name for ourselves, as if us slaying each other with the word is appealing to our Father HAYA as he looks down upon us in our misery. We lack the patience and the faith of the saints. The patience is to wait for the kingdom to come, for your glory. All these years in darkness, our Creator, HAYA, who reigns above the heavens, has not been praised properly, has not been glorified properly. And he's still not praised and glorified before men. When our people get before men, they glorify the law and they glorify what they consider their righteousness in it, as opposed to glorifying the Father and praising his name and teaching us to do likewise. This is why I call for the wailing women. Our men are broken as we are broken. After years of degradation and shame, they seek validation, which is understandable, but to seek validation from this world will not happen. This world will not validate you. And if you want to be validated by our Creator, HAYA, then praise him, glorify him, and have mercy on his people as he has had mercy on you. The last scriptures I'm going to read is Jeremiah chapter 9. And I pray that it goes forth to those who need to hear it. Forgive me, I did not prepare the pages. Jeremiah chapter 9. Oh, that my head were waters, and my eyes a fountain of tears, that I might weep day and night for the slain of the daughter of my people. Oh, that I had in the wilderness a lodging place of wayfaring men, that I might leave my people and go from them. For they be all adulterers, an assembly of treacherous men. and they bend their tongues like the bow for lies. But they are not valiant for the truth upon the earth, for they proceed from evil to evil, and they know not me, saith the Lord. Take ye heed every one of his neighbor, and trust ye not in any brother. For every brother will utterly supplant, and every neighbor will walk with slanders, and they will deceive every one his neighbor, and will not speak the truth. They have taught their tongue to speak lies, and weary themselves to commit iniquity. Thine habitation is in the midst of deceit. Through deceit they refuse to know me, saith the Lord HAYA. Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, Behold, I will melt them and try them. For how shall I do for the daughter of my people? Their tongue is as an arrow shot out. It speaketh deceit. One speaketh peaceably to his neighbor with his mouth, but in his heart he layeth his weight. Shall I not visit them for these things, saith the Lord? Shall not my soul be avenged on such a nation as this? For the mountains will I take up a weeping and wailing, and for the habitations of the wilderness a lamentation, because they are burned up, so that none can pass through them, neither can men hear the voice of the cattle. Both the fowl of the heavens and the beast are fled, they are gone. And I will make Jerusalem heaps and a den of dragons, and I will make the cities of Yehuda desolate, without an inhabitant. Who is the wise man that may understand this? And who is he to whom the mouth of the Most High had spoken, that he may declare it? For what the land perisheth and is burned up like a wilderness, that none passeth through. And HAYA saith, Because they have forsaken my law, which I set before them, and have not obeyed my voice, neither walked therein, but have walked after the imagination of their own heart, and after Baalim, which their fathers taught them. Therefore thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Behold, I will feed them, even this people, with wormwood, and give them water of gall to drink. I will scatter them also among the heathen, whom neither they nor their fathers have known. And I will send a sword after them, till I have consumed them. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, Consider ye, and call for the mourning women, that they may come, and send for cunning women, that they may come. And let them make haste, and take up a wailing for us, that our eyes may run down with tears, and our eyelids gush out with waters. For a voice of wailing is heard out of Zion. How are we spoiled? We are greatly confounded, because we have forsaken the land, because our dwellings have cast us out. Yet hear the word of HAYA, O ye women, and let your ear receive the word of his mouth. And teach your daughters wailing, and every one her neighbor lamentation. For death is come up into our windows, and is entered into our palaces, to cut off the children from without, and the young men from the streets. Speak thus, saith the Lord. Even the carcasses of men shall fall as dung upon the open field, and as the handful after the harvestman, and none shall gather them. Thus saith the Lord, Let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory in his might. Let not the rich man glory in his riches, but let him that glorieth glory in this, that he understandeth and knoweth HAYA, that he is the Lord, which exercised loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth. For in these things I delight, saith the Most High. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will punish all them which are circumcised with the uncircumcised, Egypt, and Yehuda, and Edom, and the children of Ammon and Moab, and all that are in the utmost corners, that dwell in the wilderness. For all these nations are uncircumcised, and all the house of Israel are uncircumcised in the heart. In the heart. mind. Keep silent, women. That's what I've been told in every circle, in every place that I have gone. Keep silent, women. The women of the Old Testament were not silent. And we can be silent no longer. Where are the wailing women? Where are the cunning women to stand up and step forth for our people? Even if it means subjugating yourself, do not let others subjugate you. Subjugate yourself to the Most High HAYA. Praise our Creator HAYA. Weep to Him, our Creator HAYA, for the state of our people